Ilia Topuria has just vacated his featherweight title. As we all know, he has come out and said he is done with featherweight and he wants to move to lightweight due to the fact that he feels there is not enough competition at featherweight, and also the cut at featherweight was just too much for him. Now the question is, has he done enough at featherweight? Not really, if you ask me. And this has upset a lot of fight fans. Now, even though I do agree with the MMA community, on the other hand, I don't. Yes, he hasn't done enough at featherweight, but at the same time, he has knocked out arguably the two best featherweight fighters of all time in Alex Volkanovski and Max Holloway. And of course, one title defense isn't enough to say that you're done with one division. But knocking out Volkanovski, a guy who's never been finished at featherweight, and then knocking out Max Holloway, a guy that hasn't been finished since 2012, to Dustin Poirier, a guy that Conor McGregor couldn't knock out during his legendary run at featherweight. In fact, Max Holloway is the only guy to take Conor McGregor to a decision at featherweight. He knocked out every other person. Even Justin Gaethje, a guy that knocks out most of his opponents, he couldn't even sit Max down properly. And then Ilia Topuria goes out there and knocks Max Holloway out with one of the best left hooks I've ever seen. Ilia's boxing is some of the best boxing, if not the best boxing, we have ever seen in the UFC. So was moving away from featherweight correct for Ilia Topuria? I believe Ilia Topuria moving to lightweight was the right decision for him and his career. Yes, Ilia Topuria could definitely had more title defenses, and I think he definitely would have if he had stayed at featherweight. Because when it comes to the featherweights that are currently there right now, I don't really see any of them being able to mix it up with Ilia Topuria. He is just like 3 steps ahead of everyone. He's a complete fighter, and with that KO power at that kind of weight, I just think that no one will really be able to compete with him. I believe that he KOs Volkanovski again, and I believe that he does the same to Max Holloway. I also think someone like Evloev or Diego Lopez also gets knocked out stiff by Ilia. Now at lightweight, I do not see this to be the case. Because of Ilia's size, he's quite a small person, even for featherweight. When he fights against these lightweights, I think that the competition evens out a lot. Now that Ilia is fighting bigger, stronger men, I just think that this tightens up competition a lot more, and it makes it a lot more of an even matchup. I think that Ilia moving to lightweight is the right decision, and this is just a much more interesting decision as a fight fan. I believe that he destroys everyone at featherweight pretty much, and at lightweight, he actually has more competition, mainly due to the size and the height advantage that his opponents will have over him. But I do not count Ilia out, because Ilia is one of the first complete fighters we've ever seen. This is a new generation of MMA. He's very good in all departments. Grappling, which includes wrestling, jiu-jitsu, sambo, and his striking, his boxing is obviously superb. He's got natural power, which will bring you a long way in this sport. Also, his kicks and his ability to take shots. The head kick that he took off Jaya Herbert was insane. Let's talk about Ilia's boxing. Ilia's boxing is so elite and so far ahead of the game, people haven't even realised it yet. Just go and look at Ilia and his coach hitting pads, hitting mitts, or Ilia hitting the bag, or anything to do with boxing, you will see that it's on a different level. He looks like a professional boxer in there. He doesn't look like an MMA fighter hitting pads. He looks like a boxer training for a boxing bout. I have not yet seen an MMA fighter hit the pads so cleanly, with so much technique, but at the same time, speed and ferocity. And even though I haven't seen much of his grappling, except when he submitted Bryce Mitchell, I'm still told that it is just as good, if not better, than his boxing. Who do I want to see Ilia fight? I would personally like to see Ilia fight Dustin Poirier. They're both very good at boxing, and I think that this fight mainly stands on the ground. I do think Ilia mixes it up a bit, but I believe that Ilia will want to get the KO over Dustin because it holds a lot more weight. Both of their boxing skill is extremely high. It's literally top tier when it comes to MMA boxing. Watching Dustin outbox McGregor was something of beauty. Who wouldn't want to see Dustin Poirier and Ilia Topuria go at it in a 5-round war? Clean boxing, counter strikes, distant management, all the good stuff I personally like to see. The only thing that concerns me a little bit in this matchup is Dustin's size. But according to Google, Dustin's only 5'9" and Ilia apparently is only 5'7". But if these guys do fight, apparently on paper there's not much height difference. But I find that hard to believe. I don't want to see Ilia versus Islam straight away, because I do believe that Ilia gets defeated by Islam. As well as I don't want to see Ilia Topuria jump the queue at lightweight when there's other contenders waiting in line. It's not a Volk. You haven't got 3, 4, 5 title defenses. You have got one title defense. Ilia should have a warm-up match first. But it does look like we are getting Ilia versus Islam. I feel bad for Islam a little bit because Islam's already defended against a featherweight twice. He also defended against a couple ex-featherweights like Dustin Poirier or Moicano. For Islam's resume, I understand why he doesn't want this fight. Even though it is an incredible win, to take out Ilia Topuria would be insane. But people will not give him the credit. You know what MMA fans are like already. They will scream at him, you've only fought featherweights, fight a real lightweight, fight a real contender, blah, blah, blah. On the other hand, if Ilia was to lose to Islam straight away, then that's the end of the hype. That's the end of Ilia's lightweight run before it's even started. And this would upset me greatly because I think Ilia could do amazing things at lightweight. That's my opinion on it all. I do believe they will announce Ilia versus Islam this weekend because I do think Belal beats JDM. But let me know what you guys think. Do you want to see this matchup or would you like Ilia to prove himself first?